Howdy, y'all. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this July 12th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thank you again for joining me. God bless you all. Follow the top right corner for the rest of the playlist. And please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. I really do appreciate it. All right, so we've been going over some of Jesus' parables the last 3 days. Now we're going to go back to just following his earthly ministry as we've been doing before. We're going to go over to the book of Luke today, Luke chapter 8, and pick it up in verse 22. One day Jesus and his followers got into a boat. He said to them, "Come with me across the lake." And so they started across. While they were sailing, Jesus slept. A big storm blew across the lake, and the boat began to fill with water. They were in danger. The followers went to Jesus and woke him. They said, "Master, Master, we will drown." Jesus got up. He gave a command to the wind and the waves. The wind stopped, and the lake became calm. He said to his followers, "Where is your faith?" They were afraid and amazed. They said to each other, "What kind of man is this? He commands the wind and the water, and they obey him." Verse 26. Jesus and his followers sailed on across the lake. They sailed to the area where the Gerasene people live, across from Galilee. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man from that town came to him. This man had demons inside him. For a long time he had worn no clothes. He did not live in a house, but in the caves where the dead are buried. The demon inside the man had often seized him, and he had been put in jail with his hands and feet in chains. But he would always break the chains. The demon inside him would force him to go out to the places where no one lived. Jesus commanded the evil spirit to come out of the man. When the man saw Jesus, he fell down before him, shouting loudly, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? Please don't punish me." Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" The man answered, "Legion." He said his name was Legion because many demons had gone into him. The demons begged Jesus not to send them into the bottomless pit. On that hill there was a big herd of pigs eating. The demons begged Jesus to allow them to go into the pigs. So he allowed them to do this. Then the demons came out of the man and went into the pigs. The herd of pigs ran down the hill into the lake, and all were drowned. The men who were caring for the pigs ran away and told the story in the fields and in the town. People went out to see what had happened. They came to Jesus and found the man sitting there at the feet of Jesus. The man had clothes on and was in his right mind again. The demons were gone. This made the people afraid. The men who saw these things happen told the others all about how Jesus made the man well. All those who lived in the area around Gerasa asked Jesus to go away because they were afraid. So Jesus got into the boat to go back to Galilee. The man he had healed begged to go with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, "Go back home and tell people what God did for you." So the man went all over town telling what Jesus had done for him. Verse 40. When Jesus went back to Galilee, the people welcomed him. Everyone was waiting for him. A man named Jairus came to him. He was a leader of the synagogue. He had only one daughter. She was 12 years old, and she was dying. So Jairus bowed down at the feet of Jesus and begged him to come to his house. While Jesus was going to Jairus' house, the people crowded all around him. A woman was there who had been bleeding for 12 years. She had spent all her money on doctors, but no doctor was able to heal her. The woman came behind Jesus and touched the bottom of his coat. At that moment, her bleeding stopped. Then Jesus said, "Who touched me?" They all said they had not touched him. And Peter said, "Master, people are all around you, pushing against you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I felt power go out from me." When the woman saw that she could not hide, she came forward, shaking. She bowed down before Jesus. While everyone listened, she told why she touched him. Then she said that she was healed immediately when she touched him. Jesus said to her, My daughter, you are made well because you believed. Go in peace." While Jesus was still speaking, someone came from the house of the synagogue leader and said, "Your daughter has died. Don't bother the teacher anymore." Jesus heard this and said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid. Just believe, and your daughter will be well." Jesus went to the house. He let only Peter, John, James, and the girl's father and mother go inside with him. Everyone was crying and feeling sad because the girl was dead. But Jesus said, "Don't cry. She is not dead. She is only sleeping." The people laughed at him because they knew that the girl was dead. But Jesus held her hand and called to her, "Little girl, stand up." Her spirit came back into her, and she stood up immediately. Jesus said, "Give her something to eat." The girl's parents were amazed. He told them not to tell anyone about what happened. All right, there's a lot going on there. So again, we're just going to break it down piece by piece. So first part we see a story we probably are all familiar with, and that is the storm on the lake, where they are crossing the lake in a boat, all the apostles and Jesus, and the storm comes, and while all the apostles are panicking and trying to keep the boat, upright and moving and just not, completely destroyed, Jesus is in the back, asleep. He's taking a nap. Okay, can't blame him. He's doing a lot of work, right? And the others are like, "We're going to die. We're going to die, man. What are we going to do?" And Jesus just says, "Stop." And everything stops. The storm just stops, demonstrating his power over everything, including nature. And then we see their reaction. They ask each other, "Who is this guy? What kind of man is he? He even commands the winds and the waves and the storms." Now, you're probably wondering, why are they asking this? Hasn't he told them who he is? Hasn't he told them that he's the Son of God? Yes and no. Okay, so yes, Jesus has told them these things, but God has not yet allowed them to understand what that means. Okay, and that is just another example of God's sovereignty. Sometimes God withholds things from us because it's his plan, it's his prerogative, it's his way, his will. Okay, and as the sovereign God of the universe, we can't argue that. If it's not for us to know, it's not for us to know. We don't get all the answers. We don't need all the answers, right? We just need to believe and have faith in God. See? All right. And then we see after that the story of the demon legion, the man possessed by a legion of demons, thousands and thousands of demons. And he's incapable of being restrained, and yet he is kept separate from everyone else. The demons don't, force him to do, terrible, horrible acts of, debauchery or vandalism, but they just keep him out of his, completely out of his mind and separate from everyone else. And that is really what Satan wants to do. He wants us separated from God. He wants to keep us separated from God so that he cannot do anything to us or for us, right? And that's what the demons are doing here. But then Jesus drives the demons out of him and into a herd of pigs, which then promptly jump off a cliff and drown in the lake below, right? And everyone's just, afraid. And this is genuine fear here. It's not the awe and respect that, usually the fear of God means, but they're like, okay, this is really crazy. This is really creepy, man. You need to go, right? That's what they're saying, basically. And then finally, we see the story of Jairus and his daughter and the woman who touched Jesus to become well. And just another couple examples of the healing power of Jesus. And with the woman, it wasn't that Jesus directly healed her and, touched her or whatever, but rather she went to him. Okay? She believed enough to go to him to be healed. And she just thought, if I can only just touch the edge of his cloak, I would be well. I know he has that power. I know that this is possible. If I can just touch a piece of his clothes, I will be well. And it was true. It happened. And that's the kind of faith that we should all have. Be able to go to Jesus and say, even just a little bit of Jesus is enough for me. Even just a little bit is all that I need. And of course, Jesus, we see his power over life and death once again as he raises the little girl, Jairus' daughter, from the dead, like he did with the boy several days ago. All right, well, that's all for today. We're going to pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.